Hello, home bosses. Today I'm going to talk to you about categories because I've had a lot of people asking me, what category do I put my book in? Because we are making low content books and Amazon's categories are not really designed for low content books. So there's no category for notebooks or planners or logbooks. So what do? Where do you put your book? What category do you choose? Well, the answer to that is quite simple, really. But before I go into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the system that Amazon uses to categorize books. Amazon has two types of categories. The first one is the BISAC categories, and BISAC stands for Book Industry Standards and Communication. Basically, the BISAC categories are designed for the book industry. So they are the categories that buyers can use, but also they are for retailers, for search engines, for libraries. So it's really the book industry that has a standard of categories, and they are mainly the people who use the BISAC categories. Now, there are other categories, and those are the Amazon browser categories or browse categories, and they are the ones that Amazon customers use. So Amazon categories and BISAC categories are two different things. So Amazon asks you to place your book in two categories when you upload your book. And what that does is it gives Amazon an idea what your book is about, because they're the standard categories. And then what Amazon does is it then chooses the categories that you've put your book in to place your book in their own browse categories. And the way Amazon does that is it uses your keywords and also your choice of categories or your choice of BISAC categories to make that decision in what categories it puts your books. So what do you need to know about the BISAC categories? Where can you put your books? Well, it's pretty simple actually, because KDP wasn't designed for low content books. KDP was designed for novels, for cookbooks, for fiction, for those kind of books, but not really for low content books. And that's why the BISAC categories are not sometimes easy to choose, because there are no categories for notebooks or for planners. So what do I do when I choose a category? So I want to show you the category explorer on Tangent templates, but you can do this on Amazon as well. When you upload your book, you get a list of categories to choose and you can browse the categories. And I just want to give you an example of what I do when I want to place one of my notebooks into a category or a planner. So let's have a look. If we type in notebook into the search, I don't expect to find a category for this. So let's have a look. Exactly. So no results found for notebook. That's what I expected, because we know there is no category for notebooks. There is also no category for planner. Let's have a look. So no results found for planner. So what do we do? What do we do when we have a planner or a coloring book or something like that? So what I usually do is I put my book into a category that relates to the niche. So, for example, if I've got a business planner and I click search, again, no results, but then I go to the category browser and then I have a look and see where I can put my book. So we know it's non-fiction because all our no content or low content books are non-fiction, except for if you're writing a children's book, then that changes again. But usually we are in the non-fiction category. And then we have a look. So I'm looking for a category to put my business planner in. So first of all, I go to business and economics. I have a look there. And then I can choose another category. So if your book or if your planner is to do with accounting or it's a ledger, then you can have a look here and you can see maybe financial, but you can also take another look and have a look what else there is. Bookkeeping could be a good one if it's a planner. Budgeting is another good one if it's a budget planner. So you need to really take a look at the closest category that your book could fall into. You know, don't let this confuse you too much. Just pick a category, because these categories are not that accurate anyway. So as long as you fall into a broad into the broad sense of the word, into the broad sense of the category, you can just put it in one of those. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. For example, I had someone ask me, where do you put your organizers? For example, if you have a book that helps people to declutter their home or to organize their home, what do you do with something like that? Well, in that case, I go to House and Home, and then I look at, let's have a look. I look at cleaning, caretaking and organizing, and then I put my planner in that. So if I have a planner to do with decluttering your home or with reorganizing your home, I put it in that. So you have to be a little bit creative and you have to think a little bit outside of the box with this. So let's give you another really simple example. Say you've got a notebook. We know there are no categories for notebooks. But say you've got an avocado notebook. So all you have on your notebook is a picture of an avocado. So what can you do then? So again, you go on non-fiction and then you look for something that could be avocado related. So it's either vegetables or fruit or even cooking. So you could go, here we are, so you could go on to cooking and then you just have a look and see where could your book fit into. So I would say specific ingredients. Maybe if there's like vegetables, here we are, vegetables. So I would put it in there. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think it's just a notebook with an avocado. Why would it be in the cookery section? But that's because there is no other way to do it. If you've got a notebook with a dog on the cover or with cats, then you go on to pets or something like that. So we'll scroll down here we go, pets. And then you choose whatever is on the cover of your notebook. So if it's a bird or a cat or a dog, you choose that as your category. And you can choose 2 categories when you upload a book. And I recommend that you don't choose the same. So if you have pets, try to go into a different category for your second choice. So if you have cats on the cover and you click cats, don't choose cats and then general, and then for your second category you choose breeds, because that is all in the same category. So it's better to choose 2 separate categories. So if you have cats on the cover, what else could you put this in? Well, it's a little bit more tricky, but maybe, I don't know, maybe under hobbies, maybe, I don't know, you have to really think a little bit, or maybe nature, and then put it on under animals, something like that. So that's the other way to do it. It's better not to have them both in the same section. So try and choose 2 different categories altogether. If you can't, then obviously you will have to choose the same, but try and separate them so that they're not in the same category. I hope that has helped you a little bit, because I know I get a lot of questions from people that are confused about the categories, and it is confusing, but really it's simpler than we think. Sometimes we try and make things a lot more complicated than it really is. If you've got a planner that is to do with meal planning or with cookery, then put it in the cookery section. So it's really about finding the best category for your niche. Now, I know that you have only 2 categories where you can upload your book to on Amazon, but Amazon actually lets you put your book into 10 different categories, but we're talking about 10 browse categories. We're not talking about the BISAC categories. So if you want your book to be in a specific browse category, you have to ask Amazon to do that. And I'll explain how to do that in another video, because the more categories you can put your book in, the better and the more chances you have to sell your book. I will say one thing. When people look for books, they don't usually look in the category. The categories are important, but they're not as important as we sometimes think. I see so many people have real problems when it comes to choosing the categories, and they don't know what to do, and they say, oh, I don't know what category to put this in. I don't know what to publish my book in. And it stops them from publishing their book, just thinking about the category. Don't let things like that stop you from publishing your books. It's not that important, because when people look on Amazon to buy something, they go into the all category. They don't really, when I buy a book, I don't click on books. Very rarely I do that. I usually just type in what I want. So for example, if I want to buy a budget planner, I type it into the all category. And this is why I tell you always to do your research in the all category, because that is how your customer will look for your books. I think, the majority of customers search in Amazon this way. And this is why the first research should be done in the all category. And this is why the categories are not as important as we sometimes think. So, just put your book in the closest category that you can put it in. Your customers will find you because they will type it into the all category here. So if your book has got good keywords, good titles, good subtitles, your customers will find it. They don't have to go on the book category to do that. So don't let it stop you from publishing your book. But I will make a video about how to put your book in 10 different categories. All you have to do is to email Amazon, but I will tell you how to do that in another video. For the moment, I just wanted to explain to you what the BISAC categories are compared to the browse categories. So I hope this has helped you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because then you can get notifications. And I thank you, as always, so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.